will be distributed so that you can study it and you can make some comments on it when we meet next time. But now I could have like 5 questions. Tayewa, you select your 5 people.
Is to interpret the law. The legislature makes the law.
Yes. So if there is a social pressure that the judiciary are misusing the present for our constituency, and it's really very annoying for somebody to steal government money, to steal even to steal people's goats, and you find the following day walking. People are going to give up.
That is very true, Your Excellency. In making law, it is done to suit the needs of the society.
Yes. So I am going to bring legislation to stop bail for embezzlement, but also stealing the goats in the village.
Your Excellency, Parliament is charged with that duty to make any law.
Yes.
Absolutely, Parliament has the mandate.
I'm going to bring the legislation. You support me. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.
Now, somebody wanted to know whether the roads, the health centers, the other things which Majezo was talking about are from the 100 million shillings. No, this 100 million shillings is only for wealth creation. The money for the roads, that's separate money. But what Majezo was saying, which is correct, was that if you grow coffee, but there's no road, yes?
Offences, no one is allowed to be given bail until the lapse of about 6 months, 180 days. We could do something similar to that, so that people who are stealing our money know that they will be put away, they will not be granted bail outrightly.
Very good. Thank you. The other supportive services, infrastructure, they are not part of this 100 million shillings. This 100 million shillings is only for wealth creation. And wealth creation in agriculture. That's why I'm separating the Myoga also. Myoga, carpentry, what, those will be handled separately. Because our main force are the farmers. They are the ones who want to get out of poverty first. Monitoring and evaluation. I totally agree. The Ministry of Monitoring, Peter Ogwang, that's a very important ministry. I normally put people there, but sometimes they don't appreciate it. They think it is, but it's one of the most important because it can be. Peter Ogwang, I want to say something. Okay.
The President, Your Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, colleague ministers and members of Parliament. Mr. President, first of all, I want to entirely agree with the submission of my colleague, the MP for Toro South. Mr. President, you put me there for a purpose, and I want to inform you I've started work. For the last 2 weeks, I was in Ivanda. I checked on a water project which had taken 6 years without it being completed. As I speak now, the project is going to be completed in the next 6 months. I have agreed both with the Minister of Water and the contractor to complete the project. Mr. President, when it comes to this parish model, we have a structure in government. To begin with, we have our NRM people, we have the GISOs, we have the DISOs, we have the RDCs, we have the MPs, we have the local government. My role is to coordinate on monitoring mechanism on how we can be able to look at the results of how our project is performing. And I want to pledge that, Mr. President, I'm going to work with the Minister of Local Government and all members of Parliament to monitor this Parish development model to its logical conclusion. There is no part of this country I will not reach as far as monitoring of government program is concerned. That I want to pledge before you and the members of the caucus. Furthermore, Mr. President, we have a public policy executive forum called the APEX. I want to thank my sister, Excellency the Vice President. She chaired a meeting 2 days ago, and we had a position that we want to come and brief members of the caucus on how we intend to come up with a public policy on how to carry out monitoring and evaluation of the entire government program. The last one is, Mr. President, I intend, and I'm happy I wrote to you, you replied me. Mr. President, budgets are released per quarter. So in terms of monitoring and evaluation, what we intend to bring on board is quarterly budget performance reviews. If Minister of Local Government has been given 400 billion, can we look at the activity, the plan, how the budget has been given? Have they implemented it or not? If not, why? That will help us improve on the efficiency and service delivery of our country, and that helps us to deliver our services to the people. I thank you so much, Mr. President, and I pledge on behalf of the caucus to do that on your behalf. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. But who are these who are understaffed? Are they useful, or are they... Some of the positions are not, we can do, because you see, what is crucial is really the private sector and some of the technical staff, the agriculture and the veterinary. Now we are adding the sub-county chief, the county chief. If you have that structure, I don't see what can fail to happen. So these other people, I can tell you, for instance, in the colonial times, there were no magistrates. These magistrates, I started hearing of them in 1958. That's when some chiefs were selected to go for a magistrate's course at Nsamizi. But before, the Gombora chief would be the magistrate. They would be the magistrate. The colonial government did not have enough money to pay the chiefs and also the magistrates. So they were borrowing the administrators to do the adjudication of cases, especially the civil cases, the ones of property, the ones of what. Only murder would go straight to Mbarara for the whole of Ankole. And you know, Ankole is a big area. From Kabogore to Mbarara is 100 miles. You can imagine that whole area. Only murder would go to Mbarara. But the other cases of property of this, the chief would decide on them. So, for me, once the vets are there, the agriculture people are there, in some areas where the fisheries are there, these other administrators, even if they are not, the Muruka chief is there, the Gombora chief is there, because those are coordinators, surely we can move. We can move. I have been looking after cows all these years. Most of the time I don't see the chiefs and all those, I don't see them. Once in a while I call a vet. That's what I need from, if there is peace in the country, what else do I need? So, don't cry so much for some of these people. If they are there, they are there. If they are not, I think the minimum we can move with them. Now, that one we stopped. Multiple taxation. If you create multiple taxation, this one is taxing, the central government is taxing, the local government is taxing, you are going to exhaust people. People will be tired of taxes. They will cry. So we should have very clear, a few areas where they can raise some tax, very clearly, but not central. That's why we removed roadblocks, where the local governments were putting roadblocks to Oh, Majigere, she fought that war. You know, one reason, because some of you study history, you know the French Revolution. One of the causes of the French Revolution were multiple taxes. France was already one kingdom, but those provinces, Bagande, Brittany, I don't know which one, they would have taxes on the border. From one province to the other one, we pay tax. That's what caused the French Revolution. Should be very careful. Not too many people should tax. Let us tax centrally and we share. What is the problem? The money we are sending to the districts is a big amount of money. And we collect it centrally here and we share it. That is the concept we are following, rather than having multiple taxing points. Now, the commercial officers, what are they doing? Because me, I have been keeping cows, I have never seen a commercial officer to do what with my cows? Because these commercial officers, I don't know what they were there for. Because if we are talking about crops, what we need is the agricultural officer, the veterinary. Now, Majezi, you tell me, commercial, what does he do? LOC3s, this is LOC3 is supported by this one, the other one by this one. For instance, our pastor, Begumisa, she was here, she was on the microphone. Where is Begumisa?
Minister, honorable ministers, and all protocol observed. My name is Silwanyi Solomon, Member of Parliament, Bukoli County Central in Bujiri District. Your Excellency, why I stood up is because in the 10th Parliament, at the end of the 10th Parliament, we took the proposal of the parish model in Parliament. And why that time Parliament did not pass and agree to support the parish model was about two things that I want to mention to members of the caucus so that we chew and we go when we are one. Number one was that we were removing money for WEP and taking it back to the women. And we convinced members of Parliament that women are at the parish. True. But much as women are at parish level, we need to ring fence money on the parish model for the women of this country, Your Excellency. If we do not mention that a certain amount, a certain percentage is ring-fenced for women, Your Excellency, this will be abused at the level of implementation. And we are aware that, Your Excellency, NRM and our supporters are mainly women. And I cannot see it, Your Excellency, when women and money for women is being removed and we are not ring fencing it at the parish level. Two, youths, we must also have a specific amount and percentage ring fence for the young people of this country, because they are the ones who move, they are the ones who mobilize, they are the ones who are most active when it comes to business. Your Excellency, when those two issues are sorted, we are then good to go. But without sorting those ones, we are not going to move as a unit, we are not going to move united, and we are not going to succeed in Parliament. I beg to submit.
And other ministers here. I want to thank you for this education that you've given us on the parish model. Many people have not fully understood it, but you've shed more light. What I wanted to ask is about Emyoga and how it relates to the parish model. Many of our people in the villages are already organized in circles. And when Emyoga came, there was a little bit of confusion, and not all of them were able to register for Emyoga. My question is Emyoga, are the Emyogas going to be the channel for most of this, should I say, support to the groups? Or people will be able to retain their circles which they've been in? Thank you very much.
MP Parish County in every district. Your Excellency, the members of Parliament are tired of doing post-mortem on most of the government programs. Every time we are sent when programs have failed. So we do urge that the members of Parliament must be in the center of the parish model if we want this to succeed. For example, in Emyoga, we are not even informed if any funds have been remitted to the district. But we are supposed to answer questions when put towards us in the constituency. So if this program has to succeed, the members of Parliament must be in the center of signing off some of these funds and supervising the circles. Secondly, we have the issues of the new districts and the municipals. Some of them have not yet been coded. So there's going to be issues. We need them to be coded first before the parish model is implemented. So I hope the Minister of Finance can fast track the coding of these new sub-counties. The last point I would like to put out, when we were out doing a research on Emyoga from our constituency, Your Excellency, we just came back, most circles were saying the money given is not enough because the circles are too big, especially the women entrepreneur groups. So my suggestion was, is there a way we can maybe next year stop Emyoga and instead bring it all into the parish model as one fund instead? Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. My first job, I was the sub-county chief for 8 years, Rakai district. So I rise on the issue of parish chiefs. Your Excellency, if this is to succeed, the Ministry of Public Service and local government, where I worked for 8 years, should work together to make sure that the parish chiefs are not like any other civil servants who will just embezzle public funds and be transferred as soon as they embezzle funds. They should also be local residents in that district. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name, Your Excellency, I just have one or two issues. Number one, the 100 million request you have put before us is welcome, and it amounts to about 1 trillion as per your calculations. Your Excellency, I want to ask, the 7 pillars that have been mentioned by the Minister of Local Government, are only those pillars going to benefit from the 100 million? Or the 100 million will be strictly for the benefit of the community? Then number two, Your Excellency, there is a new profession in the development world today called monitoring and evaluation. Your Excellency, I am happy we have a minister who's managing monitoring and evaluation in your office. I am also happy we have the Prime Minister who's an ME professional herself. But Your Excellency, this profession is the fundamental key that we have for progress of any project to be achieved. We need to structure M&E in all the operations of government such that they can guide before we lose the track of the projects. Your Excellency, I thought I should make that contribution, but we support the 100 million, though it is little. Why don't you give the budget committee, together with you and the finance, to scale out that, and we see if we can get even to 2 trillion, and we start work. NRM will always be on top. Thank you very much.
We have a challenge currently of understaffing at the district level, which is almost at less than 50%. So how are we going to go about this, Your Excellence, with the parish model? 2, districts and sub-counties have got a capacity of mobilizing revenue through licenses from markets and whatever. Your Excellency, I would like to know, either from the minister in line, whether there is any plan of parishes to also collect revenue from their people. I beg to submit.
Your Excellency.
Mr. President, most of the programs that we have at district level, like Emioga and now the parish model, are supposed to pass through the offices of the commercial officers. But the commercial officers in the district are one of the poorly funded. As I speak now, Mr. President, the commercial officers have no transport facilitation, and yet they are supposed to do continuous monitoring of all the programs. Even in the parish model, the commercial officers are the focal point persons. How I pray that, Mr. President, transport facilitation is provided to the commercial officers to support them in monitoring this program. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Your being an advocate and walking the talk. Your Excellency, my concern that I would like to echo is on the speed we should begin on this program. Your Excellency, of recent, we were sent to monitor the Emioga, and we interfaced with quite a number of challenges, and some of the challenges we met on ground was the issue of lack of information and prior sensitization about the modus operandi of the program Emioga. It is my sincere appeal that before we go as far as disbursing funds, we must engage and send the MPs on ground to do sensitization, mobilization, and inform the community about all the details about the parish model. Most of the groups are running away from Emioga, and they have contradicting information just because they lack the prior information. I believe that if that is done, our people will have a good channel for economic social transformation. Lastly, Your Excellency, we really need to have a way of managing the local government officials. Your Excellency, we are talking about recruiting the parish chiefs, but if we recruit these parish chiefs and they still operate the way other extension workers have been operating in the sub-counties and the parishes, we may not achieve the goal. Your Excellency, we really want to take time and ensure that everything is set before the vehicle begins rolling. Thank you.
The matter extensively, so allow me to hand over back to His Excellency.
Because you remember I told you that in the parish, all people are there. And if you want to ring fence for them, that is the best place to ring fence. Where you say, out of the 100 million, 30% is for women or 40%, I don't mind whatever percent you want to decide. 30% is for the youth, no problem. because they are all there. They are all there in the parish. And that is in order, because it is true that for some reason, some of these groups are ignored. I don't know why. Although as you can see me, I never ignore the women. The women are now, you can see them now. You can see the front bench. The women, the men are endangered species in the... Now, I would strongly advise that the Emyoga, because you see the parish model is mainly about agriculture. It's mainly about agriculture, crops, and livestock, where the majority of our people are. Now, my effort with the Emyoga was mainly for the non-agricultural enterprises. That's why I borrowed that Runyankore word. That Runyankore word is an ancient one, meaning specialization. Like the blacksmith. Blacksmith, that was their Muoga, or Muoga 1. Blacksmith, Abahesi, carpenters, Ababizi, the Abanogozi, the ones of ceramics, the ones who are making pottery, back cloth, Abakomaji, the ones who are making back cloth. These were the Myoga. So, when I looked at our present society, of course, agriculture is also a Mwoga, but it is a majority Mwoga where very many people are involved. The other ones don't have so many people. Like if you say blacksmith, in Ntungamo, you know me, I'm always going back to Ntungamo. In Ntungamo, we had like, in that big sub-county, we had like 2 blacksmiths. One was a man called Manyoro in Muyogo. The other one were the people in Butare, where there were blacksmiths. There were not many. Even now, I think if you think back in your area, how many are the metal workers? The ones who are making doors, this Katwe type, how many are there in your parish? If you form a circle of metal workers, how many are you going to have in your parish? You may find that in a parish there is nobody. How about the carpenters? How many are there in the parish? Of course, the girls who roast hair, please forgive me, that's what they call it in Runyankore. They say, Okochama Shoki. So I am translating. How do I say it? You can advise me how to say it better. But I'm translating from Runyankore. The hair salon, I don't know how many there are in each village, maybe there are 1 or 2. So that's why for the Myoga, we are suggesting that the constituency may be a better place where they can have their their circle, a circle for the metro workers. Of course, the borders are a bit more, but you also don't have a border in every village. They are there. Okay, even if they are there, but the sub-county, the constituency is not too far these days. Because your constituencies are mainly two sub-county constituencies, many of them. Huh? You discuss it, but that's what they're thinking. So I don't think it is correct to join because I want the parish model to concentrate mainly on agriculture. Because agriculture is the majority activity. The Myoga, if you want to put them at the sub-county, we can look at it. If you want them to remain at the constituency, we can look at it. But don't mix it up with the parish model. Maybe later, but for now, let everybody who has got land in Uganda be persuaded, be helped to get involved in food security, production, and cash crops. And once all the homes are set, then we can now see whether we should bring the Myoga down also. But for now, let's separate them. Let the Myoga either be at the constituency or the sub-county. Why? Because I think not all the Myoga, for instance, if you say restaurants, because one of the 18 Myoga is, I think, what do you call it, hospitality? Nane, is the other man, is Honorable Kasoro here? Kasoro, why should I fight your wars? You go there and... The man is just keeping quiet and I'm fighting wars. No, you go there, they can see him better.
The concept of a Myoga, like you have explained, we are considering in the beginning 18 categories, and these are according to their specialties. Of course, the borders, and in a parish, we cannot form a circle according to a specialty. So I think it is very important that we maintain our earlier position, that we go at a constituency, because, Your Excellency, we have already started this arrangement.
Okay, you go and write a paper which you circulate to the MPs defending what you think is right.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
But for tomorrow is mainly for agriculture, crops and animal and livestock. The others can be handled either to the sub-county, but he will write a paper to argue the case. Now my young man from Zombo, the one from near the Congo border, was saying that you are now engaged in post-mortem. What are the doctors who do post-mortem? What are they called? Pathologists. Are they called pathologists? That you are now pathologists. Now, Kasoro, I'm tired of defending you. Why did you not involve the MPs when we were starting the Myoga? Because we talked about it, we were in the cabinet, we were everywhere.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the position was decided upon by Cabinet. Because, Your Excellency, the program was being implemented at a time when we were into campaigns. Your Excellency, Cabinet, in its wisdom, directed that because the RDCs are neutral, that the RDCs had the implementation of this program in their respective districts. But, Your Excellency, going forward, now that we have our colleagues, members of parliament, and they are new and very energetic, we can include them because, Your Excellency, the members of parliament, their constitutional role is to oversee the implementation of all government programs and to ensure value for money. But now the RDC seems to be neutral. So, and the program must be very inclusive. No one should be left behind. I think that was the wisdom of Cabinet, Your Excellency.
Okay, I think that there was an idea that some of the politicians tend to favor their supporters against the other people. But I think it is better to give somebody enough rope to hang himself rather than hiding the rope from him. You should make the rope there. If someone wants to hang himself, let him hang himself. You should, the MPs should not be kept away from decision making. Let them be involved, and if they make mistakes, they will be held accountable. They will fail. They will fail. I totally agree. The MPs should be involved. They will learn from the. If they make mistakes, they will be accountable. New district. I don't know about those things. What Majezi, new districts coding.
I think the member was referring to the sub-counties and town councils. All the districts and all the cities and all the municipalities have budget codes. The codes are given by means of finance, and that is an indicator that they are being entered in the budget process. But, Your Excellency, the members are right. We have 716 lower local governments, sub-counties and town councils, which were created over the last 3-4 years. They don't have codes, and therefore they don't have the budgets. They lack the extension workers, they lack staff at the sub-county, but they are there. So I've assured them, and the Minister of Finance is here, we have discussed this matter. The total budget requirement is 29 billion to ensure that all the sub-counties and town councils are coded and given operational funds by the end of September. It's our commitment, Your Excellency.
Money of the Myoga was not enough, but that's why I am saying that at least for the parish model, we must have at least 100 million per parish, per annum. And then with the Myoga, if the money is not enough, we should study it and also recommend looking at the demand. What you should avoid as leaders is okumemerera. They told me that Luganda is called what? Okumansa mansa. Scattering. What we call it in Luo, when you scatter and you don't have any impact. In Luo, Lok Luo. Okay? The time of NADS. And they took me to a garden where somebody had planted 20 oranges. Why plant 20 oranges? And when I asked, why did you allow somebody to plant 20 oranges only? He said, no, the seedlings, we had to distribute them, to share. But this is not leadership. Even if the things are not enough, even in a sub-county, even if you get 2 or 3 people who are given enough to plant like an acre, so that, because as you hear, my sensitization, my education was from Mbarara Stock Farm, one farm in Ankole. It is where I went and I saw and I was persuaded. Mr. Mbire's farm. Jesus was hanged in Palestine. I was not there. But some people were there. And they wrote, they say Jesus was hanged here. And he died like this, he did like this. After 3 days, he came out of the grave. Who wrote? Matthew, Luke, John, Mark, they wrote. I read, I am now a Christian. So, if you get one good example, success, it's better than just scattering. This is not leadership. Even if you are to get one example, so if the money is not enough, don't scatter. Because what we want is example. Oh, so coffee can grow here, and you can get so much money. Museveni, who was getting, we are now talking of Nyakana. Nyakana, the man in Fort Portal, who started and succeeded, and we are now talking about him. Because really what we are talking about here is example of success. This is what you should insist on, not cheap politics. Not cheap politics. So, even if the money is not enough, let's see a few myoga which can be supported enough and they succeed. In each line, because the 18 myoga, there is money for each. If you support one carpentry group, only one, if the money is not enough in a sub-county, that's a good beginning. Because in the past we were buying furniture from Dubai and from India. Now if we are buying furniture from, because this myoga concept, I actually got it from Kasanda in Mbende. The youth there had organized themselves like that. When I went there, I liked the concept. Parish chiefs and other government servants stealing government money. But I am here, head of state, head of government, head of NRM, but also Commander-in-Chief of the Army. I have the members of parliament. The Constitution gives us power to legislate. If you have seen a problem that people are stealing government money and they are being handled with kid gloves, let us legislate. Attorney General bring legislation that somebody arrested for embezzlement of money should not get bail. Let's legislate. Attorney General bring the bill, because I have been complaining against bail for murder, bail for defilement, bail for rape, bail for terrorism. I want those to be stopped. Let's add embezzlement. That if somebody is arrested for embezzlement, he should not be given bail except if 180 days have passed without him being tried. So I would tell the Attorney General to bring that amendment to the Constitution now. Really, Annabelle, why are you quiet? You come and talk. I want us to amend the Constitution that no bail for accused of murder, rape, defilement, terrorism, and we add now government embezzlement, except if he has not been tried for 180 days. You are the one who was talking about the local government people.
Yes,
are you
sir.
the one?
Yes, sir.
You
and commit actually to be pioneers in identifying where these challenges are. But we will ask for your support when it comes to legislation, when it comes to judiciary, because all these gymnastics are done with the judiciary.
Once we make it, because now the judiciary are playing around the discretion to them. We said somebody may get bail, but because the judiciary don't make their own laws, they implement the law which is there. If they are misusing the discretion, let's now say, for this category, because we know what is disturbing our people. With the Africans, the biggest mistake you can make is when you shed blood and you don't pay matoput. That's when you get permanent enmity. So therefore, the killing, rape, terrorism, defilement, there should be no bail. And I would want to add embezzlement. So if the judiciary are misusing that, let's remove the power from them, because we are the ones to legislate. So you are not allowed to give bail for this one, except nobody. Attorney General, are you here? The government lawyers. Who is here? They are in courts, maybe. We don't have a lawyer. Let's see that lawyer.